All right, I'm back. Thank you, everybody. Sorry about that. That was just a pain in the butt. I will figure that out hopefully tonight. So come on in, everybody. Come back in, everyone. Come back in, everybody. It's crazy. Every single channel on YouTube is covering the Nancy case. Okay. Come on in, everybody. Thank you for coming back. I apologize for that. Technical stuff I just don't get. Welcome back. Hi, Linux. Hi, Brat. Welcome back. Come on in. Thank you all for coming back and being with me. All right, so let's do the thing. All right, come on, people. I'll wait a couple minutes for people to come in. There's always a bit of a delay. Thank you, mods. Welcome back, Donna. That new program is amazing. Once I get it finally working, I'm going to be so excited. It's got so many options to use. It's amazing. Hi, Bam Bam. Welcome back, honey. So if anybody's still in the other chat, please tell them to come over here. I'm pretty sure it's over. Ah, okay. Gotcha. Come on in, come on in. So the readings last night were crazy. I just couldn't sleep. I'm like, I can't sleep. Can't sleep at all. Welcome back, Susan. Hello, honey. Come on in, everybody. Waiting for you to all come in for the chat to fill up. I hope you all had a good day. I did post a little video, I don't know, about an hour ago for all of my USA subscribers that are wanting to buy products from me. Please watch that, and it shows you what you need to do on my website, okay? USA customers. Thank you for being here, Kendra. Thank you. Yes, fill the chat up with yellow hearts and prayers, please. Yellow hearts and prayers. And I'm going to make a goal. So if people are able, please help me reach my goal today. It helps me fund my channel and keep things going. It's crazy, actually, how expensive stuff has become. Super... Okay. Welcome in. Come back. Hi, Christine. My headache is pretty good now. Yeah, it's pretty good. I had a wicked migraine. Well, almost a migraine. All day long. I think it's just because I was tired. I sleep with the CPAP and I got angry with the CPAP and threw it off. And so that's why. Welcome back, Kiwi Gal. There you go. I love the hearts. Thank you, everybody. Oh, keep it going. Keep it going. Like I've been saying all this time, the last few days, this case, it makes me want to cry. Like, you just don't do this to an elderly lady. You just don't do this. You don't do crimes, period. But crimes against infants and elderly is the worst. Hi, Just Mary. Welcome back. Hi, Jane. Welcome back. Hi, hon. Yeah, yellow is the symbol of hope. That's exactly, Brett. Thank you. So, yeah, you just don't hurt infants or the elderly. It's just, when they catch these people, I hope they rot in hell for the rest of their lives. In jail for the rest of their lives. In solitude. Yay, I'm glad you made the live too. Thank you for the prayers, Joni. Thank you very much. All right, so how many are in here now? Just waiting for the chat to fill up. Okay, we're at 90 people now. Awesome. Hit the thumbs up for me, please, everybody, as you're coming in the door. Please keep hitting the thumbs up. I do have goals set at the top of the chat screen for this live stream. I'm planning on being here for, I don't know, a couple hours at least. You know me, I might end up being here for like 4 hours or something. So please help me complete my goals today for this live stream. Welcome back, Gina. Hello, Anna. Hello, FJ2. Okay, are we ready? We're going to start watching stuff now. Thank you very much. All right, give me 2 seconds here. Okay. All right, let's see. Okay, I'm going to watch. We're going to watch this. Okay. Are we ready? Everybody ready? Let's go. I haven't watched anything today, so it's going to be interesting to see what is happening.
Tonight, the FBI is increasing its reward for information leading up to the location of Nancy Guthrie.
Thank you all for being here. Hi, Vanilla. Hi, Lisa. Please hit the thumbs up and tell me if you can hear this, okay?
To $100,000 from $50,000. They're also revealing new details about the suspect, calling him a suspect, describing him as a 5'9" to 5'10" male with an average build.
Yeah, I will, Susan. I will after we finish watching this this stream. Actually, you know what? I'll do it now. So give me 2 secs. I will do an update on my reading now because there's new people coming in that weren't in the other stream. So I was up all night trying to get new info. I'm like desperate at this point. So hi, Shirley. Okay, so my updated readings from last night, I'm going to just tell you clue by clue they're clues, okay? I believe the readings I was getting last night are clues to the suspect and where the suspects might be. Okay, so the number 1, San Xavier Mission, Tucson, which goes with my castle reading. I remember I was like, where's the castle? Well, last night I actually heard San Xavier. So San Xavier Mission, okay? Which I Google Earthed it, and that matches with the University College District. It also matches, last night I was getting the Brewery District. So, beer places, Brewery District. I was also getting a real estate agent. Somebody is a real estate agent. Somebody is involved that is possibly a real estate agent. I actually have a name of the agency, which I'm not going to say on here in case they're watching. but the name of the agency might be this person's last name as well. So we'll see. So there's a strange real estate connection. I'm getting that I flat out heard they hurt me. So we know what that means, which I figured out last Saturday. Last Saturday, I just all of a sudden was like, oh my God. Like, I just know I'm a medium. I'm getting a motel again. Remember I told you guys all like a few days ago, I was picking up like, I see a motel. You know, you got room, and they're all like single room occupancy, room. So last night I heard it again. I heard a motel around the San Xavier area. So in reality, I would take it like do a search grid of 2 miles square, I would say. Every motel needs to be checked. I hope to God authorities are watching. At least one person. I know one person might be watching. Motels. That kind of goes with the water tank I was picking up all this time. Well, the water tank very well could be a tub in a room. And then the religion aspect in the beginning of my readings, I was like, I'm getting there is like hatred, stalking hatred scenario where, and religion extremist. I actually heard religious freak. Somebody that is obsessed with their religion and doesn't, this is what I'm getting, they don't agree with Nancy or Savannah's belief. They don't believe. And I'm getting a conflict here. Okay? Between religions and hatred. I'm just, what am I missing? What am I missing here? Okay, the real estate agency, I looked them up, and it's actually a real thing. I couldn't believe it. So I'm getting they have an office in Scottsdale and an office in Tucson. The office in Scottsdale is right beside the sewage treatment plant. And there's 2 water tanks there. Okay? The other thing I'm getting as well is a park. There's a park nearby that has a bridge, possibly a walking bridge. I'm hearing the word bridge, so though it could be any bridge, but Tucson doesn't have very many bridges, okay? Walking bridge and a park that has swings. So again, I looked Google Earth. There, all of that matches. It's around San Xavier, like it all matches. Weapon, again, I'm getting confirmation of what I said before. Pistol, flat out pistol. I'm still getting 3 people. I'm getting 2 men and a woman. What else am I getting? Give me a sec here. Campus, university, campus. Maybe this person goes to university, maybe? It could be also, though, just a location they're trying to tell me. They're trying to give me suggestions on where to go, which matches the U of A and the college and stuff is right near San Xavier. And then I was getting the saddest things I've heard. It's sad. I'm flat out hearing I'm sorry. And if I'm correct, she does not need to be saying she's sorry, but I'm hearing I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Am I missing anything? And Texas. The Texas actually very well might be just Texas Roadhouse. Giving me an idea, right? A clue. Texas Roadhouse. It's just a landmark, that's all. I think that's it. Am I missing something? If I'm missing something, I'll spit it out and tell you. But I think that's all of what I was getting. I was frantically searching last night. Frantically. Like 5 a.m. on the couch. I've been up all night and I'm just Google Earth, Google Earth, Google Earth, and do a reading and then do Google Earth again and reading. Like, I'm trying to find what I'm hearing. And when I found the real estate agency, holy shit. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, wow, the name. So for you web sleuths out there that are good, please look to see if anybody in Nancy's world or Savannah's world or is connected to real estate somehow, like a real estate agent. Somebody else that is like, hopefully somebody's watching. Somebody else that knows a person that is like obsessed with their religion, like extremely obsessed. They would like start a conflict between the two religions. They don't like what Nancy and them do. That's flat out what I'm getting. People have said to me, oh, maybe it has something to do with the Epstein files. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that would be just overly extreme. I don't think so. Give me a sec. I'm not reading the chat yet. Give me a sec. Okay. I think that's it. If more comes as we're watching the videos, I'll say it, okay? But I am getting like the stalking. Like, did Savannah has not come out and talked about like the possibility that someone was stalking her, has she? Like, she hasn't come out and said anything. Like, does she have a stalker and she knows it maybe? And she's pissed them off and they went after mom instead? Because the whole thing I've been saying is the day one. This is to hurt Savannah. That's why this is. I mean, yes, they want money, of course, but this is about hatred for Savannah. And unfortunately, Nancy is the victim from it. Okay. Okay, so I'll read the chat. So let me scroll up a bit. I'm not going to read everybody's. Let me just scroll. Hi, everyone that's coming in, and I've missed you. Nagalis. I don't think so. Honestly, I'm not getting that she's crossed the border. No. And honestly, it wouldn't be that. Yeah, no. I just can't see them taking an 84-year-old woman over the border. No. Because the vehicles, they have to cross back and forth. And if they were going to do it illegally, like there are gaps in the fence. I know where those gaps are. There's no way they're going to take a disabled person, elderly lady, all the way through the desert like that. There's no way. There'd be like, it just wouldn't work. I can't see them doing that. So no, I'm not getting Mexico at all. Any other questions? Ex-husband. I have thought of the ex-husband, but I'm not getting him either. Unless he's a real estate agent and I don't know about it. Yeah, it's close to the border, but I'm not getting Nogales, no. There is agents at the border, like going into Mexico via vehicle. You get stopped and you have the checkpoint you have to go through. Plus, there is also, yeah, there's no way. There's no way, because there is the secondary Border Patrol checkpoint. There's one on Highway 80, and there's one on, I don't know what that highway is, Highway 90, or I think. No way. They would have to go through the secondary checkpoint anyways. So you leave Tucson, you go through the first checkpoint, it's down by Tombstone, and then the other checkpoint is on the other highway before you hit Cerro Vista. Nah, no, I don't think so. Tommaso very well could have paid someone. Yes, that would, yep, absolutely, very well. Yes. I don't know if Annie doesn't like her sister or not, Lisa. I'm sorry, I don't know that. They got Black Hawks flying. Okay, good. Good. That's good to know. Hi, Sunny. Hi, Web Surfer. Was the kidnapper hired? I'm getting possibly, yes, possibly hired. Yep. Possibly, yes. Have I picked up anything from El Paso, Texas? No. Though I am getting Texas, but I'm not getting that they're actually in Texas. No. I thought it was Texas Canyon. Now it might be Texas Roadhouse, just as a location point. The family definitely knows more than what they're letting on. Yep, they sure are. I might be wrong, but I'm starting to think that maybe Savannah knew she was being stalked. She just hasn't come out and talked about it. Which is really risky for Oliver. Like, Savannah, I'm sure they're protecting her. I'm sure she's got people protecting her all the time right now. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think so, opinion. I do. I think so. Or he didn't have to hire them. They're just, I've been saying this since day one too, acquaintances, people that he knows and are really bad. Really, really bad people. Just acquaintances. I've had so many people tell me, well, Tommaso's Italian. I'm like, okay, and? He can't, doesn't mean he can't be acquaintances with somebody else that is an extremist. It has nothing to do whether he's Italian or not. Facial recognition, yeah. Vexing, if you come in here, let me see you. I need to mod you back up. Hi, Colleen. Thank you very much. Can you pick up on the person asking for the Bitcoin? They said 1 Bitcoin and they would give them information. Honestly, I'm getting it's fake. Fraud. I could be wrong, but I'm getting fraud. 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 And that was the big thing also I was getting from day one too, is the fraud. Like, my very first readings, I was picking up like overseas. Like, we all get the calls every day from the scammers. That's what I was immediately getting. And extortion. Extortion. Hi, Ginger Belt. Hi, Mocha. Hi, Hunt. Thank you for coming in. Please hit the thumbs up for me, everyone, while we're doing this. Thank you, Donna. What's that? What are you sharing there, Donna? Lisa, I'm going to moderate you. Okay. What are you sharing there, Donna? Hi, Roaming. Hi, Roaming Ramble. Hi, Cindy Baker. Hi, ABC. Are the family members going to the hotel? Surely they are being watched. Yeah, like if it was Tommaso. I don't think so. No. I think if I'm correct on this, I'm getting that Tommaso is keeping himself far away from the action. Money, yeah. Money is definitely the root of all evil. It sure is. Okay, so let's watch. We got lots of people in here now. We got 276 watching. Please hit the thumbs up for me, and we're going to watch this now. What are we watching? Okay. All right, screen capture. Wait, what am I doing here? Screen capture. There. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Yes, the case is definitely weird. It's just, this one is actually really taking a toll on so many people.
Build wearing a 25.
Okay, let's start over on
Breaking
this.
tonight, the FBI is increasing its reward for information leading up to the location of Nancy Guthrie to $100,000 from $50,000. They're also revealing new details about the suspect, calling him a suspect, describing him as a 5'9" to 5'10" male with an average build, wearing a 25-liter Ozark Trail hiker backpack. Fox News at Night anchor Trace Gallagher joins us from outside Guthrie's home in Tucson, Arizona. Good evening.
Well, that's good news, kinda. They at least have narrowed down the backpack brand. Yeah. What, they'll go to Walmart and see how many people have purchased that backpack, and then maybe the FBI can actually trace that back, all the shopping people. That would be very hard for them to do. Time consuming. Yeah. Come on in, everybody.
Trace, you know, first time we heard that word, suspect, and very specific now, after it looks like they used some video analysis and of the height and weight based on what we saw.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly right. That's probably the reason, Brett, that white tent was out front, because they went in, did some measurements, and then several hours later, we have the first statement from the FBI all day. The FBI is also fascinated by this new video that TMZ obtained. It's about another person, Brett, who's actually trying to open a gate, and he's wearing, at one point, he's wearing two separate backpacks, and it seems odd because this is almost the same time of morning, on the morning that Nancy Guthrie disappeared, except it was 5 miles away, and the FBI is talking about a possible correlation if it might be the same person. Well, the timeline doesn't work out because the Sheriff's Department told us that the Ring camera, the doorbell camera here, was disabled at 1:47 in the morning. The video...
There's not a match here. I'm surprised they're even talking about this. This man here is like 100 pounds. He's small. There's no match here at all. He's small. The guy that was at Nancy's doorstep was bulky and built. You can tell his legs, even his legs were built. This is not the same. This is just somebody doing bad shit. Yeah.
Video of the new person 5 miles away was taken at 1:52 in the morning, and so it's impossible for that person to disable the doorbell here at Nancy Guthrie's house and then 5 minutes later to be able 5 miles away. But
there's no way.
TMZ is saying they believe that the FBI...
You see JLR in the background there? Wow. Hi, JLR. You're making yourself all famous over there, bud. Oh, that's funny. Older guy, too. Yeah. Yeah.
FBI thinks that it was 2:12 in the morning that the actual doorbell video here was triggered. And if that's the case, it would have given that person 5 miles away about 18 or 19 minutes to get here, which brings more intrigue to the whole investigation on whether there is any connection at all. It also brings up why the FBI, the sheriff's office, are now asking residents within a 2-mile radius of Nancy Guthrie's home to kind of submit whatever video they have, video of cars on the street, cars driving by, people driving by, anything they believe is out of...
Okay, so I'm going to ask this question in the chat right now. Put a thumbs up if you think this person we just watched with the 2 backpacks right by the fence is the person that was on Nancy's camera. Put a 1 in the chat. If you don't think it's them, put a 2 in the chat, please.
The ordinary that might help this investigation, and they want that video to be taken between January 1st and February 2nd. Interesting on the second date because it's a day after Nancy Guthrie disappeared. Brett.
Yeah, and we've had obviously a lot of experts on our air all the time. James Gagliano talking about what you're saying, this call for action from the public. Take
2s, lots and lots and lots of 2s, yeah. It's not him, is it? So this is just a waste of time, literally. Like, they're desperate for something to report on the news, which I understand. I get it. Yeah. Okay, let's keep going.
Listen.
This is the exact antithesis of a cold case. Public interest out here in the Tucson area is through the roof. And I think that there are so many leads coming in now. Each day we learn new developments, and that is advancing the investigation.
Okay, so this is interesting here, though. The glove. They found this glove. This is, hopefully this glove is a break in the case. I really hope so.
Step by step. Remember, I've said all along, this case is going to be solved with the help of the public.
And they've got new video of the backpack putting out, trying to get to specifics about that backpack. And, you know, Trace, to your point.
Donna, I agree with you. Yes, they should be listening to mediums. But anyways, that's a whole discussion in itself.
Asking for help. We now have sort of a timeline, and you piece it all together, even when the pacemaker goes offline. And one would think investigators are mapping that all out.
There's another glove now? They've found 2 gloves? I hope they got DNA off that glove. I hope this, literally, I hope this is a break in the case.
I'm second by second.
Yeah. And I think it's important to also note, Brett, that when you talk about this timeline, this is the Sheriff's Department timeline. Remember, the FBI says there's no timestamp on the video that they went into the cloud and they dragged out of it, right?
Yes,
rebuilding
please.
This video, there's no timestamp. So it's very possible.
Please play Jesse Walters' interview tonight. Okay, I'll look for that.
Possible that this video up on the porch behind me, taken on February 1st, was in fact taken at 12 minutes after 2 o'clock in the morning. And that would kind of open up the possibilities here. And that's why they want more video from these neighbors and residents around here, Brett, to try to piece this puzzle together.
Okay, you got it. Yep. I will add it to my lineup here. Thank you, everybody, for being here again. I just love you all so much. Please hit the thumbs up button for me. Please help me complete my goals for tonight's stream. I've got them up. You can find it at the top of the chat screen. I would greatly appreciate it. Please help me reach my super chat goals for this stream. Thank you so much.
They could use a break, Brett.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube.
Okay, thank you, let them. All right, so let's watch this next one. This one is News Nation. This is about the TMZ receives second anonymous note claiming to know Nancy Guthrie's captor, and this is from an hour ago. We ready?
Yesterday has
Okay,
clearly
one sec.
from the same person who emailed us yesterday, has the same Bitcoin account attached to it, saying, complaining really that they're not being taken seriously because they did not get the Bitcoin they had requested in order to give up the identity and location of Nancy's captors. And they said that this will be the last time they reach out. They said they need.
Thank you very much, Donna. I challenge you to hit the like button, share, and subscribe. Thank you very much for your super chat, babe. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. 19 more to go. Okay, so this is crazy. These people want 1 Bitcoin to be able to tell the FBI who Nancy's captor is. Well, that's a load of shit, isn't it? That's ridiculous. It's got to be fake. Like a scam. Totally.
Need the Bitcoin. It's interesting. They offered sort of an explanation why they want this Bitcoin. They said that they're going to need to lay low. There's an insinuation that that there may be some retribution for giving up the location and the identity of the kidnapper. And they also said that they didn't want to end up incriminated like Carlos. Carlos is the delivery man who was.
Yeah, that's harsh on Carlos. But I understand that. I mean, I understand. They obviously Carlos was the wrong person, but law enforcement's got to do what they got to do, right? They're offering 100,000 when Bitcoin is 60. Wow. I remember when Bitcoins were $100. Why would you ever throw exactly opinion? Like, that kind of shows that this person is possibly like a newbie to this. Like, maybe this is their first. Though, if my readings are right, that's what I'm getting. This is the first time they've ever done anything super extreme like this. I'm also reading that this has gotten way worse than they intended. Like, I'm getting that they intended on just taking Nancy, getting, $6 million a couple days later, and that be that. But, yeah, no, it's backfired now. And if I'm right, I now believe they're now dealing with having to hide her. And yeah, it's bad. Oh, Jane, thank you so much for your super chat, babe. Thank you very, very much. Yay, thank you. They can put him on FBI protection. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Hi, Sunny. Welcome back, Rose. Hi, Sue. Why wouldn't they just ask for the reward? Like, perfect question, Sue. Thank you for that. Good to see you here, hun. Okay, let's keep going.
Was briefly detained as a person of interest the other night and then released when police realized he had nothing to do with this. So he's watching, whoever sent this is watching the news and very clearly does not want to get too close to law enforcement and doesn't want to be seen as someone who's involved in the kidnapping at all, just that for some reason they claim to have information about who did it.
And this came in the same way that yesterday's came in, and that the.
If I'm right, I like the real estate agent connection I'm getting here. Somebody connected to real estate somehow down the line here. I got that last night in my reading. I couldn't believe what I was getting. And I found the agency too. I found 2 locations. Hi, Lisa, honey. The reward now is 100. Yeah. They should have done that from the very beginning. But honestly, a lot of these times, these rewards are useless. They don't work. They really don't work. It's very rare.
The ransom note came in last week, which was through your tip line.
Yes, correct.
And it's so interesting. He actually referenced the man who was detained on Tuesday night for several hours for questioning, and then was ultimately released. But
Wanda, you nailed it right there. Karma is working on these idiots. I agree, honey. I sure do.
was called. Apparently, it was called in an anonymous tip because he resembled the man in this door cam video.
Yeah, which might, explain where, as they said, they don't want to end up like Carlos. Maybe they don't want their face. They don't want to have a face-to-face with law enforcement. They want to do this just electronically, and you understand why law enforcement might.
I noticed they're putting a tent up there, huh? That's interesting. I think my opinion. This is it's not even a reading, but my opinion of what they're doing with the tent. It's to keep the media from watching. Is to block the view. They might end up now. They might end up doing like big stuff where like they take the carpets out, drywall out, etc. for testing. So I believe that the tent is just to cover so people can't watch. Plus it's hot. It could be that they're trying to cover whatever DNA evidence they have on the doorstep there too. They raised the reward today. Hi, Marcy. Good to see you, honey. Thank you for becoming a member again. Okay, let's keep going.
Might have some hesitation with that. There's nothing here solid for them to say this person really does have the information they claim to have. What's interesting is that they're asking for one Bitcoin, which, as we mentioned, is about $66,000. But since then, the reward has gone up to $100,000. So, I don't know.
Agents came from New Mexico. Okay. They upped the reward. Yep. Lisa, Dara, when the FBI, they left, oh, yeah, okay. You know what's crazy? They should be doing this in the Summer Wells case. That's always in the back of my mind. Account was only up a few hours today. Okay. Thank you, Stacy. Okay, let's go. All highways to Nogales and a short time to get there. Yep. Though, honestly, opinion, I'm not getting Nogales. I'm not. It's not that easy. Like I said a minute ago, to get from Tucson to Nogales, you have to go through a border patrol point. There's 2 border patrol points, actually 3, if I remember correct. It's not going to work. They would not have been able to get Nancy past that patrol. There's no way.
I don't know if the police, if they up the reward for that reason, because maybe that draws this person out. If they really want the money, you can get more than 1 Bitcoin now if you come forward with this information.
And to be clear, the note today and the note yesterday contained absolutely no information to prove that they actually know who the kidnapper is.
Nothing at all.
Oh, the tent was taken down pretty quick, really. Hi, Vexing. I got you, Vexing. Give me 2 seconds here. Oh, so they took the tent down. Okay, well, they must have been doing something they didn't want people to see. Like, I appreciate JLR and Brian Enton and stuff being there. But on the other hand, I can understand how the agents are getting frustrated. I mean, they got the cameras right up their asses. Like, I totally understand that. Yep. Welcome back to moderation, Vexing. I had to delete all my mods. Okay, let's keep going.
I will say this one thing, that there's a sentence in the email today that is, for lack of a better word, I'd say kind of ominous. I can't really say anything more than that. As I mentioned, we have forwarded this to the FBI, and just out of respect for their investigation, we are not revealing some of the details of a lot of the details of this email, but we're really just trying to describe the tone of it.
Let them. Thank you very much for your super chat. Thank you for all you do. Love this channel. I trust you. Only you. Let's bring Nancy home. Aw, thank you so much, Let Them. I appreciate you very, very much. They used the tents while they were doing measurements. Oh, Susie, that's interesting. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you for your super chats. You're helping my goal. We got 17 more to go, but I'm going to be here a while, you guys. You got me for a while. My honey's making dinner. Thank you for the super chat. Fun. Fufu. Fufu. Fufu Dandro. I love your name. Thank you very much for your super chat. Okay, let's go.
So they're frustrated and maybe even a little upset that they have not gotten the Bitcoin that they requested.
Ominous as in threatening in some way?
Not threatening, but ominous as in how this is all potentially going to end.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our News Nation app right now on your phone.
Out my show. I really appreciate it. Please click to subscribe. Really appreciate all your support. I am here outside Nancy Guthrie's house in Tucson, Arizona. It's now day 12 since Nancy Guthrie went missing. Nancy's house is behind me. I kind of just came up here to, it's so hard.
Here I am talking away. Okay. I was just saying, I really like Brian Enton. I think he's fantastic. He does such good journalism. And I'm actually kind of laughing because here he is sitting on the ground in Arizona. You don't sit on the ground in Arizona. There is red ants out there that are brutal. They will totally screw up your life. You can hear me now, right? I had the mute button on, sorry. You can hear me? You should be able to hear me now. I'm back? Okay. Yep, I'm back. So anyways, I see him sitting on the ground. He's going to get his ass bit up. He's going to get his ass chewed up with the red ants, and the scorpions are going to nail him. It's nasty there. Nasty. That's one thing I don't miss about living in Arizona is that, like, oh my God. Everything there will hurt you. Everything.
Hard to find shade here, so there's like some shade under a tree here, so I figured I would just talk to you guys here and go over all the latest developments of the last 24 hours or so. And it seems like every day sort of starts out slow in the morning and then new things happen and develop, which I guess is a good thing. It shows that there is at least what appears to be progress in the case or at least, that investigators are working hard. First of all, this morning, a white tent was put up outside of Nancy Guthrie's house, and this kind of came out of nowhere. It appeared to be sheriff's deputies showed up, put this tent up right up against the front door of the house, like very, very close to the front door, so that we couldn't see what was going on. And we saw one of the investigators go in with what looked like photographic equipment. But then what was interesting was and we zoomed in on this, there was another investigator that went in with what is called a forensic height board, which I had never heard of before, a forensic height board, which has measurements on it, and I am told they would use that to try and figure out the height of the suspect. So basically they would go back and look at the surveillance photos and videos.
Wow, that's interesting, eh? That's very interesting. So that totally could be what they did with that tent. Huh. Very interesting. I'm glad to see that they're being so thorough, That's good news.
And then use this forensic height board to try to determine how tall the person is. I'm also wondering if they were possibly looking at blood, doing more testing on the blood.
Yeah.
How far apart the blood droplets were. Because remember, we went up there and got the video of the blood before, when they opened up the crime scene the first time. But it wasn't like a pool of blood, if you guys remember. It was like blood.
And there's probably blood on that doormat too. Like, it literally just takes one single hair where they could do DNA testing. They just need one hair of the suspect.
Droplets in different places that went from the door all the way out to near the driveway. And we don't know if they were also testing that. And the other thought I had at first when they put the tent up is, for the first time there's rain in the forecast tomorrow. So I thought maybe they were just covering.
What is a jumping cactus? I'll show you if we see one. Jumping cactus are a nightmare. If you walk too close to them, they spit their spines at you and get caught all over you. Yeah, they're terrible.
In that area because rain is coming.
And dowsing rods, maybe later. I'm not going to do them right now. Maybe in a little while. I'm pretty tired, honestly. I was up all night trying to read this, so.
But that doesn't appear to be the case, because within a couple of hours they took the tent down and they were gone. And the most interesting thing that I noticed was the forensic height board, which again would indicate that they were trying to figure out the height of the person who was seen in the surveillance video. I also want to mention, before I get any deeper into what I've seen today from the investigation.
Yes, green light, exactly. Chula, and I hate them. They're almost like a weed. I used to get them in my yard. Every year I would have to cut them down. Yeah, they're terrible, terrible cactus.
Savannah Guthrie did post a new video on her Instagram, and it's just so heartbreaking. It shows just older videos of her mom, Nancy, and again, it just reminds you of the fact that this is a real person, that this is a real family suffering, and just how loved Nancy is by her family, but also by people in this community here in Tucson. And Savannah wrote, "Our lovely mom, we will never give up on her. Thank you for your prayers and hope." And she posted that old home video, which, I think I've told you guys, I get so wrapped up in the investigation and running around to all the different places and trying to stay on top of everything. I just like to remember that,
Nancy is absolutely gorgeous. She is such a beautiful lady. Even at her 84 years old, she hasn't changed a bit. She's stunning.
This woman is loved by so many, and I just think about what her family is going through right now. So I want to read you the latest update from the Pima County Sheriff's Office that just came out a little while ago. They are saying investigators are requesting all video footage that includes vehicles, vehicle traffic, people, pedestrians, and anything neighbors deem out of the ordinary or important to our investigation from January 1st, 2026 to February 2nd, 2026. So they are looking for any video now going all the way back to January 1st, well before Nancy went missing. An alert was just sent via a Neighbors app to users within a 2-mile radius of Nancy Guthrie's residence near East Skyline Drive and North Campbell Avenue. And I'll put the link below, but there's a link where you can submit this video. It says investigators are reviewing all videos submitted by neighbors, including any new ones that come in. So again, they're now going back all the way to January 1st, 2026. So well before Nancy went missing, looking for any video that anybody thinks is unusual, which is interesting.
Good. I'm glad they're doing that. For sure. I hope that they are. I'm sure the authorities are checking with people that Nancy went to church with as well. Like I was saying in one of my beginning readings, that one of the suspects could be like a son or a grandson of somebody that goes to Nancy's church as well. They might be going in tonight. Not confirmed yet. Okay, thank you, Joe. Please hit the thumbs up, everybody, as you are watching. If you're new, please subscribe. I have a very crazy, awesome channel. I love all my people, and the more, the better.
They're trying to see, obviously, if this person has been in the neighborhood before. The other interesting thing is one of the neighbors out here told us that when the detective came to their door looking for ring video, they specifically asked for video from January 11th between 9 p.m. and midnight. Why they were zeroing in on that specific time, January 11th, between 9 p.m. and midnight, I don't know, but that is clearly a time frame that they are also interested in, that they didn't put out publicly, but that is what one of the neighbors told me. Let me go back to the latest release from Pima County Sheriff. The Pima County Sheriff's Department periodically uses...
January 11th, huh? I wonder what... maybe they're looking for a vehicle they saw on January 11th. You're very, very welcome. My pleasure. Hi, Cindy Baker. Hi, Queenie. Did you see the guy had a glove? Yes. Yes. Hi, Kim. I hope you're doing good, hun. Okay. Let's keep going.
Uses the Neighbors app to contact residents with home surveillance cameras. Requests will come from Pima County Sheriff's Department with a blue check mark. So they're sending this alert out within a 2-mile radius of Nancy Guthrie's house, which is behind me. So 2 miles all the way around, looking for any new video. They say as more leads come in, detectives and agents will continue to follow up on viable leads throughout the community. You can expect to see a higher presence of law enforcement activity going forward, which we've seen every day. I showed you guys yesterday. I mean, there's dozens of FBI agents out here now searching. They were back in Nancy's yard yesterday.
Wasn't that when it I think so, green light. I think so. Also, I wanted to let you know, I have people in Arizona, right? Friends. I reached out to another one yesterday. Just to see if they're willing to go for a drive. But unfortunately, I haven't heard back from them. There would be a phone call recorded of whoever called Annie about her mom. Yeah, right. Yes, Mary, exactly. Good point, Mary. Thank you for that. You have those in West Texas also? Oh, yeah, they're nasty. Debbie, they found a glove in the house. FBI just found out about it. Sheriff didn't tell them. Sheriff refused to send to Quantico. What? So he sent it to Florida. Oh, boy. That's a little bit amateur, isn't it? Wow, okay.
In the side yard, they were searching across the street where the media is set up, and then, of course, they were searching where they found the gloves. It says, in terms of notes, the FBI is handling all aspects related to any reason, notes, or communications involving the Guthrie family. Any inquiries regarding this matter should be directed to the FBI Public Affairs Office. So this is in
Love wins. Okay. Thank you so much, hon. I appreciate that.
In terms of like ransom notes, TMZ is reporting that they've received another note from the same email that they received yesterday, which is someone saying that they know who has Nancy Guthrie, and they're asking for Bitcoin also. Look, I'm skeptical of these notes. They could be real, but the fact that they're being sent to TMZ, and there's obviously people trying to take advantage of the situation. We already saw the one arrest. There's people trying to take advantage of the situation and make money off of all of this. So I don't know.
Okay, so let's watch this now.
At a private firm in Florida.
This is an interview on Jesse Walters' primetime report Pima County Sheriff sent. DNA and a glove found inside Nancy Guthrie's house to a private lab in Florida for testing instead of to the FBI. That is so screwed up. Oh my gosh. Oh, I bet you he's in big trouble. I bet you he's in big trouble.
It's a different glove. This is a glove that was actually inside the house of Nancy Guthrie. We don't know who the glove belonged to. We don't know if it was a random glove, but there was a glove inside the house that is now being analyzed at a private firm in Florida, and the FBI wanted that glove to be analyzed at Quantico in Virginia. So DNA inside the house and a glove unknown who it belongs to or what the context is on the glove, but a glove that was also inside the house, Jesse.
All right, Trace, thank you.
Wow.
Stuart Cap. It's a different glove.
Okay. That's crazy. That is a serious mess up. I'm sure he probably got into serious trouble with that. Like, that's crazy. Very, very, that's probably like a career-ending move here. Also Annie said Nancy came over for dinner to play games. Yep. She should be asked what games and then take them and test the game for fingerprints. That's a very good point too, Mary Beth. You should be an investigator, Mary Beth. You should be. Thank you for the link. I appreciate you sending that to me.
Could they be real? Yes, I'm sure police are looking into it. The FBI is looking into it, but I don't know what I make of these TMZ notes. They're saying there are no press briefings scheduled at this time. Sheriff Nanos is not conducting one-on-one interviews and remains the sole department spokesperson. Should a significant development occur, a press conference will be called, and you will be notified via email and our X account. Also, I'm learning, remember we told you yesterday about the glove that was found off of the main road here about 1.5 miles from Nancy's house. It actually is a pair of gloves, I'm told. Like two, a set, 2 gloves. And it's a main roadway. That's the other thing. It's not just...
That's interesting, eh? So it's actually a set of gloves on a main roadway. That's really crazy, actually. I hope those come back with good DNA that'll help. Like, if it wasn't from the suspect, why would somebody discard, especially those black gloves? Thank you, 194. Thank you. Sheriff says it's a jurisdiction thing. Oh. Me too, Queenie. I thought FBI was on top of everything. Yeah. I believe the sheriff has to ask for help first. The FBI did release the suspect 5'9" to 5'10". Okay. Thank you very much for that, Laura. Thank you. Okay, let's keep going.
It's like a side street like where Nancy lives. It's a main roadway. And it was a search team that found it right along the road. And you're going to hear in my interview in a second with the former SWAT team member and former deputy who's worked in this area, in this county for decades. But he's skeptical of these gloves, and I think I am too. I mean, they could be real. They bagged them. They sent them off for testing. They could be connected, But the fact that they were on a main roadway... and
I believe... There's an old cow farm. Okay, thank you, Kimbo. I'll take a look at that. Yeah, my readings last night have it's hard to explain. My readings last night gave me hope, gave me a burst of hope that I might be really onto something here. The whole real estate thing, and then I actually found 2 of their offices, like it's a real estate company. Yeah, that's a big thing in my little world. Ego of the sheriff, yeah. Hi, USA. Welcome. Welcome. What do I think about the new note? Is that what you're meaning? Yeah, the TMZ. Honestly, I think it's another scam. It's either got to be another scam or these people are just as crooked. Why would you ask for $60,000 to say who Nancy's captors are? Like, when if you do know, the FBI could protect you. It just shows me greedy, right? Greedy. It's got to be fake.
And that they hadn't been spotted for 11 days makes me skeptical. And also that that those black gloves are used in so many different ways. I mean, one of the guys out here was telling me, oh, I use those exact gloves for barbecuing. My friend who's a cook said I use them, at the restaurant. Hairdressers use them. Auto mechanics use them. People using chemicals doing work inside houses and construction use them. So, and also, would the suspect have just thrown the gloves out on the side?
Bingo, Tara. Yeah, you agree with me? Yeah, why would you ask for $60,000 to try and help find a missing woman? It's ridiculous. Warehouses and underground shelters? No, I've not picked up anything like that in my readings. No, not getting that. And they've increased the reward to $100,000. They could be, Joel. They very well could be. I don't trust that source. It's like the Enquirer online, right? Hi, Christy. Do you think this is being used as a cover for something larger? No, I don't think so. I don't, honestly, I don't. Because look at all this manpower. Look at all of these agents they're paying. No, I don't think so. But I know what you're talking about. There's something that's larger. When it comes to Savannah, there could be something there. When I keep saying stalker type person. Yeah, there could be something. And the barn. Yeah, the barn. I'm still getting the barn. Well, it looks like a barn. It might not be a barn. It's like a garage that has that style, like the roof. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. It's got that style. Maybe that's a house that this real estate agent has listed. Maybe it's one of the houses they have. Holy shit, that just came to me. Oh my god, that just came to me. What if it's one of the houses this agent has listed? Oh, I'm going to be up all night. I'm going to be up again all night. I'm sure of it. That very well could be... Because I've been saying abandoned homes. I've been saying homes where nobody's in them. I'm getting home. Where I keep wanting to say snowbirds, where they only come down for 4 months of the year. Interesting. Thank you very much, Teresa. I appreciate you, babe. Thank you for your super chat. Thank you very much. You guys will help me pay for this Streamlabs.
side of the road, especially on a main highway like that. So I'm skeptical that they're actually going to be connected, but it is possible.
Yes.
They were collected, they were bagged, and they're going to be doing testing on them. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. Something else interesting, and I've started to get to know people in local law enforcement here and been making sources on the ground. And I've been asking, is the local sheriff in charge?
Okay, 1 second here. Do you think it's one person? No, I think it's 3 actually, USA. I think it's 3. I'm getting 2 men and a female. And the female, I'm getting the female in the beginning was actually kind of nice, like, or at least being civil to Nancy and like taking care of her a little bit. And then something backfired, and as of last Saturday, I believe that we're dealing with unalived here. Castle could be mashed. Yeah, you're right, Christy. It could be a mansion. Okay, so this is something I need to look into then. Yeah. I don't want to say the real estate company on here. I'm not going to say it because, oh my God, if I'm right, that's a thing. That's a thing. And the company name I got in my reading, it's a thing. There's a place in Scottsdale and a place in Tucson. Yeah. Okay, so let's keep going. And like I said, psychics out there and stuff, please, I don't want to know anybody's readings. Please don't, I don't want to know, okay? It just screws up my readings. I can't have any sort of input from any other psychic or a spirit box or anything, okay? I don't want nothing crossing my mind, okay?
Or is the FBI now in charge? And I actually asked it at the last press conference, if you guys remember. I asked the sheriff that, and he kind of just beat around the bush and said, it doesn't matter who's actually in charge. We're all working together. But it seems like a legitimate question because a lot of people have been criticizing the sheriff about the way he handled the investigation, especially in the beginning. Yeah. And there has to be someone in charge. And I haven't been able to get an answer. But what's interesting is I was talking to some of the people who I've met here in law enforcement, and they were saying that even investigators who are working the case.
Yeah. Someone told GLR that she was at CVS. Oh, believe a caregiver. That's what I was reading. That whoever this woman is was actually taking care of her, like taking her to the bathroom and giving her water and food, and then it just changed and got really bad.
Don't know exactly who's in charge, which is somewhat alarming to think about. And there's got to be one of those agencies has to be the lead. I'm guessing it's still the sheriff's office and that the FBI is still technically assisting, although it seems in many ways the FBI is handling some aspects of this case by themselves, like, for example, what the sheriff's office put in their latest press release saying that with the ransom notes, that just goes to the FBI. But I just found it really, really telling that the sources that I've made said even investigators working the case don't know who's actually in charge.
Yes. USA, yeah, money is definitely a huge deal, yes. But I believe there's a couple things intertwined here. The number one I'm getting is hate, honestly. The number one reason is hate. Hate. It's sad. It could be Lisa. It could be that she didn't have her medicine, but I'm also hearing that they hurt me. They hurt me. So, yeah. Honestly, I hope, Savannah's not watching this, please. If you are, Savannah, I'm so sorry for what you're going through. I'm so sorry. Almost everybody in North America knows what's going on, and you have our hearts. We are with you all the way here, and I hope they find your mom, right now, immediately. I'm so sorry. And if you want to reach out to me, you're welcome. Okay.
And one other thing that's interesting is there's this other Ring camera video that has now surfaced that we've confirmed. We sent it to the sheriff's office and they responded that they're looking into all videos. And this video is interesting because you see a person with a...
See, this, to me, this is totally irrelevant. This is just somebody doing bad stuff. This is not who is on the camera at Nancy's house. Whoever was on the camera at Nancy's house was built. You can tell they're built. Even their legs, you can see their legs are much thicker than this person here. So yeah. 3 people. I'm getting 2 males and a female.
Backpack. And some people have found similarities in the video to the person at Nancy Guthrie's door, although there's no confirmation of that. And that's one of the reasons that we're blurring.
Look at how slim this person is. This is not. And honestly, those look almost like they're hospital pants. You know those scrubs pants? With the 2 back pockets? That's on it, what it looks like to me. Huh. Hi, Frankie's mom. Good to see you. Hi, Kelly. Good to see you. Yes, we might in a little while, sure. Let me get through everything I want to watch, and then we'll see what I've got to do after that. What if he's the second person? The person on camera here? Maybe. Maybe. Could be Jamie. Good point. Good point. Adult Protective Services, yeah. Yeah, things get better bigger close up. That's true. You're correct on that. Yeah. Okay, let's keep going. Thank you all for being here. Please hit the thumbs up button for me if you've not done so. If you're new, please subscribe. And please consider joining my memberships. I've got tons of content on my channel for my members. Please consider sending me a super chat to help me reach my goals for tonight. If you want to ask a question, I would greatly appreciate it if you sent it in a super chat, and I'll notice you right away.
In the face, just because the police aren't saying that. But you see the person with the backpack, they go up to a gate, and it does look suspicious at the least. And again, we reached out to the sheriff's office asking if they are looking into this specific video. And this, I'm told, is from about...
What I do find interesting about this, though, it looks like there's a vehicle sitting right there on the left. I'm sure they're gonna edit this video and look at it and see if they can see it. There's definitely a vehicle there. I wonder if this person went and got in the passenger side. Interesting, huh? Hi, Mona. Came in late. Comments are out of sync. Okay. I agree the guy doesn't appear to be a match. Yeah. Though somebody in the chat just said maybe this is the second person, because I'm getting 2 men. And honestly, I haven't even focused on what the second man is yet. Like, it hasn't even crossed my mind yet. I'm focused on the one. The one I'm getting is what I'm getting everything about. I'm getting is literally a religious freak, or like extremist. He's very, very tech savvy, obsessed with computers, and I don't know, I'm getting something about real estate. I'm not sure. Ready to snap. Thank you very much for your super chat, hun. Thank you very much. Everyone helps. I appreciate it very much. Yeah, so real estate, whatever that connection is. You amazing sleuths out there, do your research. Yeah, so the second male I'm getting is just kind of like I see him as like a tag along. He's helping with the hard stuff. He's like a tag along. I'm also getting that the number one man is obsessing on his crypto. Like I'm getting he's checking his phone constantly. Hi, couponing. Welcome. Hi, Vista. Welcome. Good to see you. So yeah, I'm getting the number one suspect is like obsessing on his phone. And like I said in the beginning of the stream, I'm also getting that he very well could be at work. Like I'm getting that when Monday came around, they're like, oh shit, we have to go to work. And that they have Nancy somewhere and they are going to work as if nothing is wrong. That's what I'm getting. Like, in a way, I keep getting vibes of Brian Koberger, where Brian, for a while, continued to keep doing his daily life. So, yeah, that was as of last night. I'm like, okay, I'm getting this person is just carrying on as if nothing's wrong because he doesn't want his own family members to suspect anything. Yeah, totally. Totally.
Anywhere from around 5 miles from Nancy Guthrie's house, and they just responded that they're looking into all videos. So it seems that they are looking into it. So I asked Bob Krieger about this, and I'm going to play for you now my full interview with him. He is
Esco. Yeah, you never know. There's always shady ones. It doesn't matter what state you're in, honestly. When I'm done with a video of Brian, an interview with the retired Pima sheriff is a good interview. Okay, thank you, Lisa. Debbie, there was a house for sale on one of Jailer's walks today. But, okay. How am I going to do this? I will release the real estate company name, but I'm not doing it publicly here. I could do it for my members privately. Hi, Linda. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you very, very much, babe. Yeah, so I might do that. Might do it for members. I'm just trying to keep it kind of private. You know what I'm saying? I'm always worried that the suspects are watching me. Like, that's my number one concern here. And that's with every case I work on. I do things as confidentially as I can. The family should also put up their own reward. Yeah, that's a good point too. Nancy attended St. Andrew's Presbyterian. Okay, I need to write that down too. St. Andrew's. Okay. Thank you so much. St. Andrew's. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And is Tommaso still missing? I don't believe Tommaso's missing. I believe they have Tommaso in a hotel somewhere, and I believe they are watching him. Like he's not allowed to leave. It's interesting we've not heard anything, eh? Nothing from him.
He was a long-time Pima County Sheriff's deputy, and he also was on the SWAT team for a long time. So I asked him about all the latest developments. This is my conversation with Bob. Thank you for talking with me again.
Sure.
First of all, we saw this tent go up this morning right outside the front door of Nancy's house, kind of like almost like sealed to the front little entryway. Okay. And it was up for a couple of hours. We saw them go in with what looked like maybe photographic equipment, but then also like a...
Yeah, I will do that. I'll definitely be doing that, Laura, for sure. I hope I'm not up again all night. I hope not. But yeah, for sure.
It looked like almost a chart, like a...
And for some reason, this guy he's interviewing looks so familiar to me. Has he had this guy on camera before? He looks super familiar. It might be this one. Okay. Is this one, Lisa? Okay, cool. All right. Thanks. All right. Okay, let's go.
A measurement chart. that they took in there, and then they took the tent down. What do you think is going on here?
It's hard to say. I did not see the tent, so I'm not exactly sure. They could have been using it simply to block light for whatever they might have been doing.
Okay.
They might have been doing some sort of evidence collection as far as scientific goes, blood collection, things like that, looking for any type of biological samples. And the chart could have been, just seeing, simply testing something to see if it comes back positive as blood or some other type of, body fluid or something like that.
Yeah, let me show you a picture because I have
Sure.
a picture. I was wondering with the chart if maybe they're going to try to get us a height to release. Maybe they can somehow use that. Use that to try to figure out how tall the suspect was. The door is right behind there, and that's what they put up there.
Yeah. Again, it would just be something.
Okay, Debbie. You take good care of her and give her big love and hugs. All of you out there watching right now, if your grandma is still alive, you need to call her and go see her and spend time with them. Spread the love to your loved ones, for sure. Give Granny a big, big kiss.
There's a million different reasons, quite honestly, and it could be simply to keep the prying eyes out as well.
For something they were doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you surprised that this just randomly popped up? I mean, we're day 12 now?
A little surprised, yes. The fact that they're doing anything still, it's still good because you want to follow up on any lead, but it's unfortunate that it's been 12 days since you had that initial bite of the purest apple you're going to get. There was literally a pizza guy that walked up there yesterday, so there are so many contaminations, chain of custody issues at this point, but it still doesn't matter because you still might get something that's valuable. It never hurts to keep trying.
In terms of people, you mentioned the pizza guy walking up, that got a lot of attention. We were able to go get video of the blood initially just because it was open. People are surprised that it wasn't sealed off just all this time. I mean, you worked at the sheriff's.
Excellent point, Brian. I'm glad you're bringing that up. Yeah, I bet you this sheriff is being reprimanded for sure. Apparently she was watching church online and goes to somebody's house on Sunday, for Sunday school, and is now watching the church service that Savannah. Oh, interesting. Okay. Third band member, maybe. The third band member, I haven't really looked at them. I've seen their pictures, but it didn't really click for me. I think many people are being protected. You could be right there. You very well could be right.
Office for so long. Has that been an issue in the past?
It's difficult because it's still a family's house. You get a search warrant and you can keep it for a reasonable amount of time, but we can't keep it forever. And at some point, you've exhausted all your investigative leads and tools that you're going to do at the scene. It's not uncommon to have to go back because maybe a day or 2 or 3 days later, you get some new information, some new evidence like, oh, we weren't even looking for something like that. You might have to apply for a new search warrant to get it amended because in your initial search warrant, that was out of the scope of your search. So there's a lot of different reasons why these things might pop up.
Okay, thank you. We will be watching a bit of JLR after we finish these videos and see what he has going on right now.
Ideally, it would be done as soon as you have it because, again, that's when you're going to have your purest scene. But it's not completely uncommon to have to go back and do these things.
Is it an issue when you go to court if it's been unsealed?
Oh, absolutely. It just creates all kinds of questions. Why didn't you do it in the first place?
Right.
And a lot of times there are very reasonable answers as to why you didn't do it in the first place. But is it going to create reasonable doubt? Potentially. And there's always going to be that question. You got to remember, nobody's perfect. Investigators aren't perfect, and things, get missed. And more information of those 18,000 tips, maybe one of them said something that nobody had talked about before. And like, oh, wow, I didn't even think about that. And they go back to the house and, get that warrant again because they...
Very well could be, Christy. Yep. For sure, could be. Yep. There has been something to Dominic. Yep, because before anything was ever said here about him, he was being questioned. There you go, for real. Good point, right?
They are amending that warrant, I'm sure, because once we left, our ability to go in that house and search was done. You know, so we had to amend it, get a new search warrant to keep going back, and the same with the FBI. If they're working together, however they're doing that, there's a lot of back channel paperwork that's going on during this whole process.
Right. This guy's totally making like excellent sense here. And it would be just a more red tape, right? It would slow everything down. That's crazy. Hi, Crimson. Good to see you. Welcome. Paperwork slows everything down.
Something else new we learned from neighbors is that the detectives have been asking them if they have any video from January 11th in the evening, which is a very specific, and they give specific time. I think it was 9 to 11 p.m. around there. And that's weeks before Nancy went missing, before any of this even started. What do you think that could mean?
My guess would be that something happened in the neighborhood. Maybe a suspicious person was called in. Maybe a suspicious vehicle that nobody had seen before was called in. And they're just following up on any lead, any possibility. That person, that vehicle could have been nothing, but it could have been something. Even if the sheriff's department didn't have contact with it that night, because that's a common call. And if you get there and there's no criminal activity going on, you may not make contact, you may not even find it. But if someone called it in, it doesn't hurt to go back and see if there's some video, because then, again, you get that one little piece of information that you hadn't had in the first place, and you can start following up on that and just, you know, keep going, always trying to, you know, uncover as many rocks at this point as you can.
What about the glove? I'm sure you saw they found a glove, and there's also some reports that it was a pair of gloves on the side of the road. It was right on the side of the road, which was interesting, and it was found 11 days after. I see you're kind of like smirking a little. Do you think it's unrelated, or you think it might be? What's your gut tell you?
My gut tells me it's unrelated. It happened to come out the day it was found, the day the video was released, or the day after it was released. The timing. If it was found on Campbell, like I was told, it's a very well-traveled road, both some foot traffic, but a lot of traffic. It would stick out. People would have saw it. My guess is it wasn't there until the day it was found, but it could have been. And that being said, that's one of those rocks that you're not going to dismiss it, because it could be the smoking gun, and you want to follow up on it. But
excellent point. This guy's making great points. Hi, AC. Welcome back. This guy's making fantastic points. Okay, I need to use the restroom. I'm going to let this play. I will be back in 2 minutes, okay? Hit the thumbs up for me, please, if you're watching and you haven't done so yet.
If I had to guess, it's probably not related.
Yeah, and it's my understanding those black gloves are used for a lot of different things. I mean, people who work on houses use them, people who use chemicals, hairstylists use them, cooks use them.
I have black gloves at my house for when I barbecue.
Yeah.
So there's just so many different uses. So, you know, they're a dime a dozen, but soon there are at least one set of black gloves out there that are related to this case.
And also, you'd think that the suspect, I mean, that would be pretty stupid to just throw them out right along the road that close to Nancy's.
I've seen dumber things criminals do. We see it all the time. You know, they panic a little bit. They think they're far enough away. Maybe he lives a good distance away, and you just toss him, saying no one's going to think about this a mile from the scene. But that I've seen much stupider things done. So, you know, it's possible.
Let me show you this video too. This is ring camera video from about 5 miles away, from a different. This is a different situation, obviously, but people are looking at it because there's a guy with a backpack.
Sure.
What do you think? I mean, tell me what you make of people are making the comparison, obviously, but you see he's got the backpack. He goes up to this gate. People are saying that the jacket looks similar.
Yeah. I would agree on a lot of those things. The jacket looks similar, the backpack, the way the backpack's loaded up. That was one of the first things I noticed with the initial video. Dude looks like he's got his laundry in his backpack. There's so much stuff in there, and it's consistent with that one. It could be a coincidence, but at the same time, there's a lot of things that why would you not look at that? 5 miles, while it's a good distance away, it still could be related. You know, bad guys don't have boundaries. They'll go from one spot to another, away from their areas where they feel comfortable at, if, you know, obviously, especially with something like this. One thing I noticed specifically with the first backpack is the fact that he wore the strap across his chest, which isn't real common for most people. Most people don't even know that strap is there. And I would love to see on that second video if that strap was there, because that would be a consistent issue that most people don't wear. They just throw their backpack on.
Yeah.
Okay, what is that? Family wanted to move Nancy to assisted living, and she was refusing. How do we know that? How do we know that, AC Freeman? Was there an interview or something? Yep. Seeing on live now. The glove sent to Florida was found inside the house. I know. Ridiculous, isn't it? He should have sent it to the FBI. Yep.
Because, you know, I've backpacked, so I've used that. You use it for stability, for support. There's reasons for it. Hook your thumbs on. So there's some consistencies, and why wouldn't you follow up on that? So hopefully whatever law enforcement agency responded to that call, if they did, there's something to follow up on there.
That's a good point, though. I've never snapped mine.
Yeah.
I mean,
most
I don't know,
people
is it for hiking most? I don't know. Yeah.
It's to distribute weight.
Yeah. And this is the little part in the front, you mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was literally the first thing I noticed about the backpack when they walked up to the door. Yeah.
So
That's a
what's
good
the
point.
sense? I mean, you live here, obviously.
This is a fantastic interview. Very, very good. JMK. I don't do spirit box sessions anymore, but I do like just raw spirit sessions in my house here. And I already have one recorded. I did it last night at like 3 a.m. So I'm working on it now. I might listen to it with you guys while I'm on here. In a minute, though, I need to go and grab my dinner. I'm going to mute myself while I'm eating, and we'll continue watching this. But this interview is really, really good. Okay, Susie.
You were in law enforcement for a long time. You have a lot of friends. Like, people keep asking me what my feeling is about this, and I have a hard time saying because I don't know what they know behind the scenes. It's hard to say whether they're back at square one or, I mean, what is your overall sense?
Well, I don't think, as far as the investigation goes, they're not at square one. You have to follow up on everything. I'm sure.
How close is the Davis-Monthan Air Force Base is reasonably close to Nancy's place. I don't know the distance, but I know it's maybe like 15-minute drive, I would say.
There's multiple teams working different leads, and because everyone's not just focused on one thing. You have to divvy up the labor. If you don't, you'll just be turning your wheels and go nowhere. So I'm sure there's folks looking here, looking there, going down to Rio Rico, up north, wherever it might be, wherever the leads are following. I'm sure there's some frustration, but sometimes, quite honestly, investigations, they don't happen overnight. You wait for that bit of information, that intelligence, that piece of evidence that you didn't have, and suddenly now we've got something. You just look at the individual in Rio Rico a couple nights ago. Prior to that, everyone thought we had nothing. Well, that was something. Turned out to be, who knows, it might have been nothing, it might have been something, but it's another stepping stone to keep going. I'm, again, sure that there's some frustration on the investigators' parts. I'm sure there's, demands being asked of them from all around, and I'm sure of this, that they're doing their best. I'm sure they're working long hours, not sleeping much, and doing what they can do to just.
You see the two cement covers here right beside Brian? I wonder where he is. I wonder where he's standing. Oh, this is outside the house, I think. Annie's house, I think. You see those two on the ground there? I'm circling them.
Keep going with this.
And the
Tisha, yeah, good point. Military personnel will use the chest strap. Yep, out of habit. That's correct.
pressure too. I mean, imagine doing an investigation, and I was thinking about this morning. I mean, we're literally following them around. Not me, but a lot of media is following them around everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Drones are up. I mean, every little thing they do.
Jeannie, thank you very much for your super sticker. Thank you. I appreciate you very much for your $1.99. That is awesome. I love that. Thank you very much. Me talking into the microphone. I got a microphone sticker.
they can't really do in secret.
Exactly, and that's a difficult part on the law enforcement side. A lot of things we don't want the media around seeing what they're doing. And again, everyone has the right to do that, but having that extra burden and trying to, do your job efficiently and effectively, it's tough sometimes. I know when the SWAT vehicles left the other day, immediately people knew about that, and it's like, having my SWAT background.
AC Freeman, okay, so where did you hear this? The suspects now appear to be hiding in Mexico and do not plan to return to the USA, although some individuals involved move back and forth. How do you know this, hon? Is this in a news report or something? Drone activity suspected to be cartel surveillance temporary. Where are you getting this news from, hon?
I knew the frustration they felt, and those things don't go fast, so we're not outrunning anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you were on the SWAT team.
Yeah,
right?
for 25 years.
For 25 years. So what do you
Wow.
I mean, are they all on?
SWAT team for 25 years. Well, thank you for your service, sir. Thank you for doing amazing job. Tisha, thank you very much, honey. You're very welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome.
On standby in a situation like this? Because at any moment it seems like they could find, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
They could make that call.
The Pima regional team is always on standby, like most teams are. I'm sure there's smaller elements ready to go at a moment's notice between the Pima regional SWAT team, FBI, HRT, probably the Tucson Police Department. Those are the three main teams that are going to be working something like this, just so they can help each other.
Yeah.
And luckily, we have great relationships with all those agencies at the tactical level, because all we want to do is solve the problem and do what we can do to get Nancy back and to hopefully take into custody whoever was responsible for it.
Yeah, and I confirmed the FBI hostage rescue team is in Tucson.
Okay, so it's not on the news. Where are you getting this from then, please? AC Freeman, where are you getting this from? Tell me your source, please, hon. Does anyone think that Nancy removed Annie from her will? I have no idea. Honestly, people keep talking about the will and stuff. I'm not getting that. Okay. All right. Thank you. I hope it's not somebody's psychic reading. If it is, I really don't want to know. Yeah. I could be wrong, but I'm not picking up anything about her estate or anything like that. I'm just not getting that. But, I could be wrong.
Which that's an elite team, right? I mean, they're like the ones you see in the movies.
They are. They're well trained. They're prepared, just like the Pima regional team is. We've trained with them in the past. I've personally trained with them in the past. So, you want to have the best of the best when, you have to go on this is a very low frequency, high risk type of mission. And it doesn't happen a lot. It really doesn't. It's not common. And so if there is some type of tactical resolution that has to come from it, you want the best of the best out there. And so luckily, we're in a location right now where there's a lot of good teams and a lot of good, capable operators.
Do you have any sense if the FBI is more in charge now, or if the sheriff still is?
That I don't know.
Do you have any, just from what you've seen, is there any, I don't really know what to look for. I mean, does it feel like, because a lot of people have been not that, just.
Look at him. You can tell he doesn't really want to answer that. That's interesting. He's smiling. That's interesting, eh? That tells you everything right there. He just doesn't want to say it, right? Can't be talking bad about the sheriff, right?
Nationally, a lot of the people don't seem that confident in the sheriff at this point.
I can understand some of that. What I can say about the Sheriff's Department investigators, they're top notch. They're hard workers. We've had calls similar to this in the past. Experience levels vary for various reasons. And, I don't know who the primary investigators are, but I do know that they're going to do their best. But I also can understand some of the frustration locally and nationally with maybe how it was handled initially.
Body language.
So
Body language, absolutely. Absolutely. He doesn't even need to say it. We're picking up what he's saying, you know?
going back to the initial question, who's running it? That I don't know.
When you were at the office, were they at a higher level reluctant to call the FBI in ever right away?
There were not a lot of cases where the FBI got involved with. I was honestly a little surprised, like on the surface, when I heard that they were now getting involved. We've had kidnappings in the past where the FBI never got involved, but we've also worked with them locally on different types of calls. Again, the high profile of this, the nation, probably the worldwide eyes on it, it makes sense why they're here, and I would be happy to have them. Anyone who wouldn't, it's ridiculous. I would want to work hand in hand with them, share as much information as I could, because they have access to things that we don't, databases, information analysts, just like they don't know how things work locally. So putting those two together, if you are not working hand in hand and like sharing every bit of information at every second.
Doodlebug, thank you for becoming a member, Doodlebug. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, hon. You can tell it was an uncomfortable question. Yeah, for sure. This guy's great. This is a really good interview. This is one of the best ones I've seen so far.
You were failing. That would be where the failure would lie. And I don't know if that's happening. I hope it's not. I hope egos aren't getting involved, because there's too much at stake.
Wow. He actually said it. Egos. Huh.
And when egos get involved, things don't work as efficiently as they should.
Well, and even the video coming off of the Google Nest Cam when there was no subscription, that would have never happened without the FBI. I mean, that was a relationship that they had with
exactly.
people.
I would guess, you know, normal investigator, oh, you don't have a camera, you don't have access, you try and look at their DVR, however they're storing it locally, and if you can't get, like, okay, cool. Maybe some analysts that we work with, because we have some great analysts in the Tucson area, and they do, when I say amazing things with electronic evidence, cell phone exploitation, just recovery of that data. One of my previous assignments was at the HIDTA task force, and the folks over there and the folks that we started building it within the sheriff's department, they have solved so many.
The Epstein list is huge. Yes, it sure is. We will be going over that. We already started doing the Epstein files. But yeah, when this dies down, we'll be definitely doing the Epstein files. I want to look at the connection where Savannah is in it. I know Savannah filed a report against someone. So yeah. No problem, loved ones.
Cases for the investigators based on that. So would they have gotten to it? I would hope so, but I'm not going to lie, I'm sure the FBI had a lot to do with that, and with the resources that they have.
What's that task force you said?
It's a HIDTA task force.
What does that mean?
It's a high-intensity drug trafficking task force in southern Arizona. Part of it is the Sheriff's Department in Tucson, Police Department, local agencies, all working in conjunction on some of the drug problems down here. That's what the main focus is, but it expands.
Yeah, wow, you mentioned that a few days ago, and they showed that shed. The white on the side of the shed. Yep. Right. Yep. Yeah. Exactly, Kimba. Could Savannah have opened a can of worms? There's always a possibility. I did think of that last night. I was like, oh boy, what if, you know?
We worked on violent crimes. There was a violent crime. There was an overdose death squad that I was a deputy commander of. There's, you know, they work UC, they work interdiction, parcel interdiction. So they just do a ton of stuff, and it's just a lot of resources under the same roof.
I'm sitting here going, where do I know this guy from? He looks so familiar. He still looks really familiar, but then it's Kevin Costner's twin. This guy looks like Kevin Costner when he was younger.
And when you have that, and you have all of the resources reaching out to their individual resources and bringing it under one roof, that's where you get success, especially on the investigative side.
Anything else I left out you think that you've thought about in the last day or so?
No, just hoping that tips that keep coming in produce something, get us closer to finding Nancy, finding out what actually went on, and really hopefully electronic evidence or someone's like, hey, I think this might be this dude, because between the two videos, someone knows, especially the second video, even if that person's not involved. Even if that person's not involved, it's another lead, and maybe he knows who did this, because bad guys talk. They talk to each other, they talk about what they did. That's what's a little surprising about this one is, in most of these types of cases, a bad guy will tell another bad guy friend what they did, and they're like, yeah, they'll get mad at them and they'll call the police and say, hey, so-and-so did this, and then we get a lot of breaks that way.
With all the blood drops that we saw at the front of the house now with the tent up, would they go and test every blood drop, or do they just test some of it?
I can't speak for the individual investigator. I would hope they would take samples from each one.
Sonny, he looks like he belongs in one of the FBI TV shows. Yes, he sure does. You bet. Okay, St. Andrews is approximately 5 miles. Okay, thank you very much, couponing.
It was just a pool, you would probably take a couple samples from various locations. If there were a series of individual drops and they were separated, I would hope that they did each individually, because like you said, it could be yours, it could be mine, it could be someone else, it could be the dog's. So let's rule out, I don't care how much extra work it is, that's what we get paid for. That's what the officers and the investigators get paid for, to take the time and to do it right.
I really appreciate Bob.
That's right, do your due diligence. Okay. What was I looking at here? Coda speaks, oh, this is the pastor, the family's pastor. Let's wait for my screen to catch up. Okay, volume. I want volume. Where is my volume? Okay.
Possibility in our own hearts. Prayer is that dynamic.
So this is Nancy. I think it's Nancy's pastor. It just says the Guthrie family pastor.
Hope and prayer are two things that have been extremely important to Savannah and her family over this time.
Prayer opens up possibility in our own hearts. Prayer is that dynamic connection with God that introduces new possibilities.
We hope that you will open up a portal of hope in your own heart for the potential for God's rescue and redemption, and as a showing of your love.
You talked about leaving the door open for hope. Something about that line just really struck me.
Yeah, I think leaving the door open for hope is a way to fight against that sense of fatality or fatalism. It's the sense that we all feel when bad things are happening. A sense of despair or gloom can sort of like cloud our minds and hearts. And prayer is a way of channeling that feeling toward God with a hope that God will meet us in it.
Info coming from... Hi, Kelly. Wait for a sec here. I don't know. Sorry. Wait for the next comment to come up. Info from... Yeah, I don't want to know about other psychics, please. Info coming from Ace Freeman is from psychics. Okay, well, okay. Thank you very much, Kelly. Please don't tell me any psychics work. I've asked and asked and asked. Please, thank you for letting me know, Kelly. I do not want to know what other psychics are saying. That's going to piss me right off. Please, I've asked and asked. I do not want to know.
And get us through to the other side. And that's the confidence.
Quit trying to play me. You know I don't want to know. Why are you telling me? I don't want to know. All it does is screw up my readings.
It's a faith.
Hope and prayer are two things that have been extremely important.
Okay, and then the next one. Nancy Guthrie's Nest Cam kept recording after... Okay, this is from J for Justice. Let's see.
And try to get it off of its holder on the wall. And he did this little video. It's very clear. Watch this. Watch.
Okay, Megan, I've installed the Nest doorbell camera on our door to the garage here. And what's interesting is it comes with a little tab just a little flat tab, almost like a tip of a screwdriver, really. And that's how you remove it from the top. So you just push down and it clicks right off, sort of. There it goes. So it pulls right off that way, and that's...
Okay, so this gentleman is trying to do an example of how it would come off the wall, how they would take the camera down.
That's how you take it off to charge it, because it is battery powered. It needs to be charged every so often. There's no wires here. And you'll see this plate looks exactly like the one that you see on the house at Nancy Guthrie's house and all the news videos. So it's the same model. And to put it back, you just click it on the base.
Excellent point. And the camera continues to record. Even if you take it off the wall, it's still recording. That's very interesting. Okay, excellent point. All right, so what is JLR doing now? Okay, so his stream ended. Okay, so let's find something to watch. And then I'm going to go get my dinner. Oops. I'm going to skip out for a second and grab my dinner. My honey made me a yummy chicken. Okay, so let's see. What are we watching? Sheriff Guthrie cases withholding key evidence from BS. Okay, we already know that. Sheriff is holding. Yeah, sheriff is going to be in a bit of trouble, it looks like. Oh, June's out there telling everybody off. My doggo is barking her lungs out. Just trying to find something to watch here. There might actually not be anything. There's me. Okay, it doesn't look like there's anything happening right now. I don't see any news happening or anything. Okay, what I think I'm going to do is I'm actually going to end this stream now. And I'm going to... What time is it? 7:30. Give me an hour. I'm going to end the stream. I'm going to have dinner. And then I'm going to come back. And we will... I want to review the spirit session I did last night. So I will include you guys and we will all listen to it together. That's always, it helps me a lot. See if you guys hear anything too. So yeah, give me an hour. I'm going to go eat some chow and I will be back in a little bit. Please hit the thumbs up button before you leave and I will see you all at 8:30. Okay. It's 7:30.